In 1908, there lived an elderly brother and sister in the village of Avonlea. They want to adopt a boy to help them manage the farm. However, due to a mistake on the overhanger's part, a fiercely and imaginative tomato, red-haired girl named Annie Shirley arrived. At first, Marilla seemed hesitant to accept Anne, but Matthew's kindness melts her. Unexpected things come and bring new life to the siblings since Annie's arrival. The story follows Annie's adventures through the ups and downs of life into adulthood, learning valuable lessons about friendship, love, and the power of imagination.
No! You can call a place like this avenue.
Constantly and got older.
I read about a case in Carmody where a family took in a boy.
For Mr. Perry and his family.
Have time for your nonsense.
Sorry.
Matthew Calvert?
Morning, Rachel.
Where is Matthew Calvert, David? Went never to town this time of year. And he wore a suit.
Maybe he has a girlfriend?
I will talk to Mario about this.
Was it like a magic ribbon on from yesterday? Just what? Or who?
The lights went out in Avonlea. Mrs. Hammond half ran in, a look of misery on his face. Slowly Anne, the brave girl with red brains and a carpet bag, followed Mr. Hammond enters. He is lost in reverie, observing every tree, cloud, and blade of grass he passes, reading aloud from a worn book.
Willow sweeten, aspen whisper, the sunbeam sour, break and quiver. In the stream that runneth ever by the island in the river, falling down to Camelot.
And Shirley,
Coming, Mrs. Hammond.
don't struggle. I've got enough to worry over. Come on, we're here.
And four grey walls and four grey towers overlook the flowery bed, and lonely, islas, envelop the Lady of Shalott.
And give me that.
In another stage area, the Green Gables kitchen is revealed. Marilla Calvert is at work when Rachel Levlin enters.
Marilla, I just saw your brother leaving town. What is it? What is going on?
Oh, I'm fine, Rachel. Good to see you. And how are the liners?
He was very sweet.
You want to Bright River? We're getting a little boy from Orpan in Nova Scotia, and he's coming on the train tonight.
Setting in Urban, Matron enters and crosses to Anne and Mrs. Hammond.
What is your name? How old are you?
And Shirley, she is 13 years old.
What's your background, doctor?
I'm afraid this is not a good story, but if you let me tell you what I imagine about my background, you might find it more entertaining.
He's been in and out of mental institutions since he can remember. Mr. Hammond has just died, and I can no longer care for him. I have many own children to worry about.
Kids of twins.
We have too many at the moment, and I'm afraid we can take them at the moment.
To take her, I have to take the train.
I will take at least there week before.
No problem anymore. She could sleep in the yard if necessary. Goodbye.
Mrs. Hammond, come back here.
Back again to the Green Gables kitchen.
I shall be surprised at nothing after this. Nothing.
Thought about this for a long time, even all winter, which is to say, he got a little girl. So Matthew and I talk about this constantly and got older.
Do you have any idea what kind of the little boy?
We figured about 10 or 11, old enough to chores and young enough to raise up proper.
You know what I mean? It's a Mike foolish thing to do.
In the room background in front of the window, Anne is talking to alone. In Anne's world, some time has passed.
Oh, Kathy, these trying times are a burden of my soul. But I'm afraid not even Lady Elaine can.
Anne Shirley, what are you doing now?
I'm talking to my window friend. Her name is...
Never mind. You have time for your nonsense.
Back to Marilla and Rachel.
Marilla! I read about a case in Carmody where a family took in a boy and he burned down the house and put them to the ground in their beds.
Jack will get the boy like that.
In a New Brunswick, an orphan lured his father into a well, and the whole family died in terrible agony. Only in that case there was a girl.
Well, we're not getting a girl.
Setting in the station. The whistle sounds, Green Gables recites into the background as the route to Avonlea appears. Train station. Anne sat down with her carpet bag and waited anxiously. Matthew enters and approaches the station master.
Was that file from Nova Scotia?
It was 6 o'clock.
I see. I miss it.
Cuthbert, yes, was wrong at 5:30.
See? 6 o'clock I come for.
They were all of the brand of boy you want. I dare say she'll be able to explain. She's got a tongue of her own.
Are you Mr. Gilbert? Oh, I'm glad. I was beginning to worry you were coming, and I imagined all the things that must have happened. So I had made up my mind that if you didn't, I would go across to that charity and sleep until morning. It would be terrible romantic to sleep charity, all white with bloom in the moonlight. Don't you think?
Sorry, I was late.
I'll carry it, Mr. Gilbert. In the train. I'm happy. It seems so wonderful that I'm still with you. I'm with myself because I'm sure this is all just dream. I asked Mrs. Spencer about the green tables and it sounded so lovely. I'm so happy to know that you have a lot of trees. I just love trees. And talking too much now. Would you rather I didn't talk? If you say so it'll stop.
Talk as much as you like. I don't need.
The third part, I can't believe I'm leaving the asylum. It's more terrible than I'm imagining. Mr. Spencer said it was meant to say that, but I didn't mean it. It's easy to be mean without realizing it, isn't it? If you had the choice to be natural beautiful, very smart, or kind, which one would you choose?
I don't know.
I think it would have to be very smart. I can be naturally beautiful because what color would you call it?
Math?
Red? I know. I'm thin and regular, and I can imagine my red hair tones. It would be a sadness for the rest of my life. Have you ever imagined what it would be like to be beautiful?
Well, no. Because I'm mad.
What do they call this place?
The avenue.
No, you can call a place like this avenue. There's no magic in a name like that. I would call it the avenue of a great joy.
Pretty, isn't it?
Really? It's not the right word. Oh, and what is that water over there?
Spot. Mr. Perry and his family, they live there.
Arrive at the station. The light switched to the Green Gables kitchen. Marilla prepared the place for dinner. Matthew helped in out of the car and into it. They talked in their sleep. What does it think they had a Green Gables? Marilla, on hearing Anne's voice, turned curiously as they entered the kitchen.
Who is she and where is the boy?
Not Allison. Only she. I don't think I can just leave it there.
What? You don't want me? Because I'm not mad? Nobody wants me. I probably knew this was too good to be true.
Hard not to cry.
This is the most experience I have ever experienced.
Kicking you out tonight. You still stay here while we resolve this issue. What is your name?
Can you call me Cordelia?
Calling you Cordelia? Is that your name?
No, but I would love to be called Cordelia. It's very elegant name.
Tell me your real name.
And Shirley. And Shirley is a plain and a romantic.
It's a name that makes sense and is not embarrassing.
Oh, I'm not embarrassing. But if you have to call me Anne, make sure you spell it correctly.
Alright, Anne.
If I was really pretty and had dark brown hair, would you keep me?
We want a boy to have Matthew on the farm, not girl.
I can imagine. I'm a girl.
Done. You might as well have dinner.
I can eat. I was in deep despair.
I have been not in deep despair.
Can you imagine? You're in deep despair?
Again, To despair is to turn away from God. If you don't want to eat, you should just sleep.
And walk past Marilla toward the room at the end.
Good evening, Anne.
How can you call it a good evening when you know it was the worst evening I've ever had?
You're back.
Her alone, she had a hard time.
She has to come back.
I think so. Can hire a boy and she can be your friend.
I don't need friends. She's not nice to us, Matthew.
I just thought maybe we could do her some good.
I won't take care of it.
As you say.
Maria, I just your sock.
Her name is...
Name refine.